A few people with a vested interest in your interest will fear you or not. But you can show everyone during the next month. America's team will not be involved at the 2018 FIFA World Cup, but that does not preclude you from participating. The people at Fox Sports hope you will watch. The World Cup sponsors want you there. No one is quite sure how you will react, though, because it has been nearly 3 decades since this event transpired without a United States team competing. The last time the U.S. failed to qualify, many of the most passionate soccer fans were not yet born. More full World Cup schedule. The World Cup is the greatest sporting party on the planet. It's better than the Olympics because it's always soccer, no equestrian or rhythmic gymnastics, and because it's twice as long. It may be the one thing that everyone in this world can genuinely agree upon. So are you in or out? I think it's a great opportunity, in a way. Janusz Michalik, ESPN and Sirius XM soccer analyst, told Sporting News. It would be much better if the United States were there, but sometimes the fans have a singular focus and you almost forget the build-up to every game, and all the talk about it. I think this is an opportunity to learn, to watch other countries, get up to watch other talent. I think it's an opportunity to broaden your horizon a little bit. Forget about the United States, it's been a long, long time since that match against Trinidad. And the bottom line for me is, if you love the game of soccer, you've got to get past it. There's a celebration that's going to happen, and enjoy it. Pick a team or don't pick a team. Just watch it. Fox paid $400 million for World Cup rights through 2022, and the failure of the United States to qualify for Russia already has led to the network offering makeup ads to companies that bought time on World Cup telecasts before the U.S. failure in Trinidad occurred, but there is optimism as the event approaches that even though the big event United States games won't happen, there still will be a significant U.S. audience for the matches that do occur. World Cup 2018, 9 nations Americans can support in Russia. A survey conducted by ExpressVPN indicated more than 30% of Americans plan to watch World Cup matches, and among millennials it's 45%. As much as you have a sour taste in your mouth about the United States, there's something about the big events that always pulls you in. Fox Sports analyst Stuart Holden, a former U.S. World Cup player, told SN. It's players representing their nations. Like the Olympics, you have that sense of pride. It's the world's biggest sporting event. It's what people are going to be talking about. You want to be part of that conversation. We have such a diverse culture here in the U.S. A lot of United States soccer fans are also fans of Mexico or have come from Spain, or they're Barcelona fans or Real Madrid fans and their players are playing for Portugal or Brazil. I struggle to see how people can't get excited when you think about what this tournament is and what's at stake. There are legions of Chelsea fans in the United States who might back France because of midfielder N'Golo Kante, or Liverpool fans who hope Mohamed Salah has a brighter time with Egypt than he did in the Champions League final, or Manchester United fans who might cheer for Belgium and striker Romelu Lukaku. This is one of the glories of being a soccer fan in the U.S. In addition to our domestic league, Major League Soccer, we get access to the Europe's top leagues on a weekly basis. Whereas in the 70s and 80s years ago the world's best players only popped up on our TVs pretty much once every 4 years, now Cristiano Ronaldo can be as familiar as Chris Paul. When you're a soccer fan, I think it's to your detriment to be isolationist. Fox soccer analyst Alexi Lalas told SN. I think recognizing this as the biggest celebration and biggest party of the game you purport to love, you almost have a responsibility to watch, regardless of whether your team is in there or not. If there is a country out there that has the ability to celebrate and adapt and adjust to not having the home country playing in a men's World Cup, it's the United States, given our incredible diversity and all the connections to other countries. And there'll be some that say, I've got to find a team that I want. DeCourcy, new USMNT GM in charge of finding next national team head coach. One of Fox's approaches to attracting an audience for a Yankee-free World Cup has been a partnership with the genealogy company 23andMe, with the tagline, Root for your roots. Many Americans have been doing this for years. It was most noticeable in the 2006 final, when New York's Little Italy was turned Isari, as the Italians won the championship over France. Italy didn't help this time by missing the event. Dutch descendants are also out of luck, as the Netherlands missed for the first time since 2002. There are, of course, many of German, Polish and English heritage who easily could latch onto the countries of their ancestors. Mexico has so many fans in the U.S. that Sports Illustrated called El Tri America's other team. That will mean there will be lots of Mexico fans as invested in this event as ever, but that's one team that most U.S. fans will have trouble adopting. I'm not having any of that, said Michlik, who earned 44 caps for the U.S. national team. There's no possibility that will happen, speaking from a player's point of view. If you have a Mexican background, all the power to you. But other than that, I just can't imagine rooting for the biggest rival more. Watching World Cup on TV a nightmare for Pulisic. This test of American support for soccer comes at an intriguing time. 3 decades ago, the United States had no men's professional league, had failed to qualify for 9 consecutive World Cups, had boys' soccer teams at only 1/3 of high schools, and youth participation was only 40% of its current levels. Now, MLS has the 7th best average attendance of any World Soccer League, and the cost of expansion franchises has soared from $10 million in 2004 to $150 million currently. Boys soccer is played at more than 2/3 of high schools. When the U.S. men bungled qualification for Russia 2018, they broke a streak of consecutive appearances longer than all but 6 other countries. Veteran soccer journalist Andrea Canales pointed out American fans again bought more tickets to this World Cup than any nation's fans, save those in the host country. The 4th consecutive tournament this was the case. A lot of those fans bought tickets fully intending to cheer for another team. Canales told SN. I know so many Americans who went to World Cups not to support the U.S. They're going to be fine. For the rest of us, there's this freedom. You can go for what you think is the stylish team, the crazy underdog team, the one in which you watched your first game and thought they were awesome. I don't care if you have a crush on their star forward, you are okay now to be unashamedly a fan of that team. But maybe it isn't something you should take for granted anymore, when the U.S. has a chance to be there again. World Cup 2018, groups, teams, key players to watch. The very fact Fox paid hundreds of millions for World Cup rights is a massive statement of the game's growth here, whether or not they thought the U.S. would be involved. Soccer United Marketing was formed in the early 2000s because American soccer officials wanted World Cup games to be broadcast here and no network really was interested. Some bought the rights, struck a deal with ESPN for airtime. Fox paid the current price aware there would be lots of soccer to televise that did not involve any Americans other than those calling the games and doing the technical work behind the cameras. The game has come so far here. This is a chance to show just how much it has grown. There's so much about what this country should do, why the United States team failed, said Michulik. We sometimes forget that many big countries fail. And they're better than we are, they have more talent, and there comes a time that it still doesn't happen. If we feel bad about not going there, just imagine what the Italians and the Dutch are going through.